back with another haul today. Lots of books as usual, as well as a lot of merch this time. So I'm going to get right into it because I've got a lot to go through, and as usual, I will have timestamps below. First, I'm going to go through the volumes of manga that I picked up. First is Firefly Wedding, Volume 3. So I'm so thrilled that we are getting this series in English print. I really like this series. I've been following the digital release since I think chapter 5 on Comic-Key, and I just really love the story. Where it's at currently, the chapters that have released the most recently, it's so exciting and nerve-wracking, and I just am really happy that we have this story in print now in English. This series follows an assassin and a girl from a rich family who is kidnapped, and then in Volume 1, they are on the run together as he decides to spare her, and now they're fleeing from the people who planned the kidnapping. So I'm really happy to see that people have been checking out this series and enjoying it. My only complaint with this release is that Viz chose to have the background like a dingy gray. And I'm so disappointed by that because it makes the book look really dirty. Like when I got my Volume 1, I thought I got a really dirty copy and I was really upset. But it's just a really dingy gray, like on the front and back cover, on the spine. It's kind of hard to show if it doesn't focus. But it's frustrating to me because the Japanese volumes are bright white in the background, and so if we had gotten clean copies like that with the bright white, I would have had no complaints. But just really happy to have this series in English now in print, and hope that more people are checking it out. If you like that kind of unstable craziness in a male lead, which is right up my alley. Next is Volume 5 of Therapy Game Restart, and as soon as I got this, I flipped through it and realized that I've already read this one because I had ordered the Japanese Volume 5 when that copy had released because it came with a merch item. But I'm looking forward to reading the official translation of it. I do really like this series, and I'm always really excited with every new release. Oh, and this one, it follows an aspiring veterinarian and a photographer. And this is actually a sequel series. So the first couple volumes are Therapy Game, and then it continues with Therapy Game Restart and just continues to follow them and their relationship and facing challenges together and overcoming things. And I just really enjoy the story, and then the art style is gorgeous. And then I got 3 more volumes of Hat Atelier, volumes 3, 6, and 13. So I'm just gradually picking up these volumes. I have a really weird mix of volumes right now. I think I have volumes 1, 5, and 9 already, and then now I have 3, 6, and 13. So gradually going to be filling in the gaps to collect this series, but really like these covers. I don't really know why, but like these 2 volumes feel different. Like one feels more matte and the other one feels a little bit more textured. I don't know. It's not like it's not visibly noticeable, but like when I have them in my hands, it is kind of weird. And volume 13. Oop, I forgot to peel this off. So this is one that I read last year from the library. I wanted to preview the series and make sure that I would enjoy it before picking up the physicals for my own collection. And I did really enjoy it. Just like the title suggests, the story follows a bunch of witches, predominantly this mentor character and the 4 little girls that he is teaching and training along with this guy here. But I've been so invested in the current festival arc And I've been trying to keep up with all of the newest chapters so that I can be getting the answers as soon as they're revealed. But looking forward to the upcoming anime. Really curious what the animation is going to look like and what the voice cast is going to be like. But looking forward to it. So before I get into my novels, I'm going to go through some of my merch from Japanese series. I have a ton of Korean merch that I'm going to go through later on in the video. But first, from the series Oshi, I was recently gifted this little sleeping kitty figure of Aqua, and I picked up a little companion for him. So I actually was going to get rubies, just because I love having the twins together. But because the sleeping kitties have their eyes closed, it kind of just, she didn't necessarily look like Ruby. Like even Aqua, he has his like signature asymmetrical hairdo, so it's like that's a characteristic of his, but Ruby's was just like very much just like a blonde girl that could have been like from another series apart from the little outfit. So I decided to get Kana's because she was super cute, but then also her little hat, her little outfit was so cute. I do have a Ruby merch item on the way, and I am in the process of picking up the volumes. After I read Oshi a few months ago, I right away got the art book and the anime guidebook, and I was intending to pick up the manga as well, and I just took my time, and so now I'm finally getting around to picking it up now that there have been some sales recently from Books A Million and Barnes & Noble. So got these cute little kitties, and I'll share the Ruby one when I get her in the mail. And next, from the series My Dress Up Darling, I got this little chibi pin of Marin. She's so cute. I really love this line from this pin maker who has done a bunch of little chibi pins of characters holding little dolls or plushies of their love interests. So I think this is my 5th one from them, but I thought I had missed out on it because this is one of their first releases from their chibi doll lineup. But they did a re-release of it, so I just snagged one right away to go in our My Dress Up Darling section on our shelves. But look at look at little Gojo, he's so cute. Happy to have this one. Next, I got a big order of One Piece trading cards. So I got this one from eBay, just this one single card, and I was really happy to get it. I had this one on my ISO for a while, just because it was from the Chinese card game, so I was trying to find it for a good deal. I kept seeing listings that were really expensive, but I was able to find this one, and I picked it up, just got it in the mail last week. So now I have, I think, 2 cards from the Chinese card game. I collect the Japanese cards of Sanji, but any of the cards from the English card game, the Chinese card game, the French card game, I'm trying to collect any alternate art that is unique to the different regions. So this was an art that wasn't released in English or Japanese, so I had to get it. And then in addition to this one card, I got a big order in the mail from TCG Republic. TCG Republic has become my go-to for Japanese trading cards because I really love that the pricing is all based on the market value and they always offer free shipping from Japan. And then in addition to those things, they always pack the cards really securely, whether I'm buying 3 cards or I'm buying 20 cards. So in this most recent order, I got a ton of cards. It had been months since I put in an order, and there were a few different decks that were released in the meantime, and so I had to get all the Sanjis. With this order, I was really impressed with all of the cushioning. The cards were packed in a little plastic container with cushioning, and then that was put on a backer board, wrapped in bubble wrap, inside a bubble mailer. So just a very, very secure package. There were some Vivi, Robin, and Hancock cards that I got for my husband. He collects some different One Piece girls. And then, like I said, a lot of Sanji. And so I just wanted to show too, my album is getting pretty maxed out. I only have like 2 pages that aren't filled right now. And it's like bursting. So I actually have ordered, I really like this brand. I've really liked this binder. I'm just kind of growing out of it right now. But I've ordered another binder from this line or from this company. And it's on the way right now. And I actually got a ring binder this time because I want to be able to insert the sleeves at different points because I organize all my cards by arc in chronological order rather than by the deck. So whenever there are a ton of cards released from an earlier arc, I have to scoot all the cards back and then insert the new cards and then put all the old ones back in. But when I have a binder, I'll be able to just insert a new page if I have a bunch of new cards and then just kind of spread them out that way. So I'm looking forward to getting my new binder in the mail. But I filmed a little clip of all of the Sanji cards that I got in my TCG Republic order, so I'll go ahead and play that. These are the Sanji cards that I got. Love this one of Mr. Prince. This Dawn card. A few event cards with just Sanji. Him and his mama. And then Drama 66. I got these 2 Nami cards. I don't collect Nami, but these are when Sanji is in her body, so had to get them. Bratier. These 2, I collect the ships. And then these 3 Straw Hat event cards because Sanji's in all 3 of them. So I have a few more trading cards on the way from my Nyokyo order. There were just some cards I was able to find in bundles that were a little more affordable and some expensive cards that were at a better price buying secondhand rather than from TCG Republic. But again, I'll share those when I get them in the mail. But I'll go ahead and get into my novels. So I have a bunch of Danmei that I got in over the past week or 2, and then a Korean novel that I'll share afterward. But to start, I got 1 volume from the publisher Rosemay, and I got it from Yigibean. Yigibean is an official distributor for Rosemay, as well as Via Lactea, Haitang. So I've been really glad that I've been able to put in orders from these international publishers from a US distributor and just pay domestic shipping fees rather than international shipping fees. So the one that I got in this week was Coins of Destiny, which is by Priest. Priest is the same author that wrote Guardian, which I read a few months ago and loved. They're also the author of Seven Seas release of Stars of Chaos and the upcoming release Silent Reading Modu. But I really liked Guardian and I am wanting to read more of Priest. I have a few other of their series pre-ordered. So I have Silent Reading pre-ordered, and then I do have one other of their series already, Drowning Sorrows and Raging Fire, which is another Rosemay title. So that one, this one, Silent Reading, Guardian, and then I've actually started reading Stars of Chaos Volume 1. It's actually my first historical series, as I've only read modern Danmei so far, so I'm really hoping I enjoy it. This one is also a historical setting, as well as Drowning Sorrows and Raging Fire is historical as well, so... Well, I guess that one has some modern elements too. It's like historical and modern, but... Anyways, I'm wanting to read more Priest because I really liked Guardian, but then also there's a fan project that's going to be releasing at the end of the year with fan art from different Priest series. And so I really want to get it, but then I also just, when I get it, I want to know who the characters are. So I'm going to try to read through some of my Priest series in the next couple of months just to be a bit more familiar with her stories and her characters and her worlds that she's built. So looking forward to it and adding this one to my collection. Oh, I forgot to share too. This one is a really nice release. So it has a desk jacket. When I got it, I thought it was just French flaps, but it's a desk jacket. Glossy. I like this art style on the cover. And then the cover of the book is gorgeous. And then the little extras that came with it. I got this little chibi character. The cover illustration. And this little bookmark. And then the next 7 books are from 2 series. So first, these 3 volumes. So I got all 7 of these from the publisher Via Lactea, and I ordered them directly from the publisher in Canada. I've only ordered from them one other time when I got Limerence and The Missing Piece. And I was really impressed with their packaging. They used a lot of protective packaging and packed everything really tight, so it was really secure, which is important to me because Danmei volumes are heavy, and if they're not packed well, they'll get damaged in transit, especially when ordering internationally, as it's transported into the US and then transferred to USPS and then gradually makes its way up to me. And so I was worried about this order having 7 volumes that they could be damaged in transit. But again, I was pleasantly surprised at how well they were packaged with a lot of padding, nice and tight. So really, really happy about that. But these first 3 volumes of the 7 are from the series Dawning. So I already had collected this series. I shared it in an earlier haul, but the volumes that I had bought were from a US retailer that was not an official distributor, so they were actually print-on-demand copies. And so I read the series, loved it, and then found out that they were print-on-demand copies, and I wanted the official publisher release just because of the quality of the books, as well as the print quality and paper quality. There's a noticeable difference. One of the design choices is kind of interesting. So on the print-on-demand copies, they have the main cover with the same illustration, but the official release has it like a little flap, which I think is kind of cool. It's a little weird, and I think it'll be kind of weird to be reading it and having this flap, but I'm pretty happy with it. And I don't know if you can tell, it has like, the material is like really soft and kind of textured, but super nice. They just feel so nice. And the books too are actually noticeably thinner than the print-on-demand ones. So I don't know why, but I'm pretty happy about it because I looked before I unhauled my print-on-demand copies, and depending on where they were printed, the text was so unclear. Like, it was like this one, the text is printed nice and sharp and bold and dark, but in my print-on-demand copies, the text was like pixelated and like kind of like a gray rather than black. So yeah, I had to do this. I had to upgrade because I loved this series. So this series follows these two guys who had been in a relationship in the past. They separated on really bad terms and have now re-encountered 5 years later. The protagonist is this guy here. He is an idol, model, actor. He's really successful. And when this guy comes back into his life, everything starts going wrong. He makes his way into his entertainment company and tries to blacklist him. And through a good portion of the first 2 volumes, there is so much angst and pain and just scenes where the main character feels humiliated, flashbacks that are just really heartbreaking. And I'm a huge angst lover, but only when it's then balanced with a really happy, really romantic ending, and it delivered. I was so happy with the ending. And the main story actually ends pretty early in volume 3, and then the majority of volume 3 is side stories that are predominantly just like really fluffy, sweet, romantic, spicy content. So highly, highly recommend this one if you also like angst and pain with a happy ending. So, dawning. And again, I ordered this directly from the Canadian publisher because I wanted the official release, but if you want to order from the US, keep an eye on Yiggy Bean when they restock their Via Lactea titles. They sell out pretty fast, so just keep an eye on that. And then you can get them with just domestic shipping fees instead of international. And then the second series that I picked up from Via Lactea was this 4-volume series, Rose and Renaissance. And this was one of the first modern Danmei series that was recommended to me by a friend on Instagram. And I've been so excited to read it, but have only now just gotten the volumes. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. When I first looked at it, the volume covers were kind of underwhelming. Like, I'm sure that I'll appreciate the designs and like the motifs in them as I read it and understand like the design choices. There are little quotes on the covers too. So I don't know, I thought they looked kind of boring from the spines and the covers, but the premise really appealed to me. And now that I just said that, I don't remember what the premise is. But it's a spicy romance series that follows 2 adults, which is always a plus. I love reading adult romances with spicy content. Extra plus if there's angst and a happy, fluffy, romantic ending. So there are some illustrations inside, so I'm looking forward to getting to know these guys. But I know that one of the characters is an artist and a playboy, and he encounters the other character and then they form some kind of relationship. I'm gonna look up the premise real quick because that is just too vague. Okay, so the premise says one character is an artist whose angelic looks mask the heartless playboy underneath. When he unexpectedly makes the acquaintance of a popular idol actor, the 2 are thrust into the spotlight and forced to manage their tangled relationship in front of an audience. So that appealed to me when I heard about it, and then I forgot what it was about, but then was still just really excited about it. So I'm really excited to get into this. It's completed at 4 volumes, so planning to get into it this summer sometime and do a binge of all 4 volumes. And then the last novel of the haul is this first volume of Dear Benjamin. This is a Korean novel, and it is the source material for the Manhwa adaptation. I was so impressed with this release. So this is from the publisher BLoved Publishing. And I had never heard of them, and I wasn't aware of this release. I remembered looking into this novel because I wanted to read it. After finding out about the controversy around the artist of the Manhwa adaptation, it really turned me off to the Manhwa, so I didn't even read the Manhwa, but I wanted to read the story. So I looked into the novel and I saw that it had been licensed, but I thought it was a digital-only release. So I just kind of put that on the back burner of my brain and didn't really give it much thought. I thought, once it releases, I'll check it out. But then I saw a friend had picked this up and was sharing it in a haul video, and I was so excited about it. I just immediately paused her video and went and bought a copy myself. But this is the hardcover release. It's super nice. And they actually did a hardcover release and a paperback release of Volume 1, and then Volume 2 is up for pre-order right now, again, with both options as a hardcover and as a paperback. I'm not sure where this is being sold from, like, other retailers and distributors, but if you buy this directly from the publisher's site, it comes with benefits. So this Volume 1 came with a little envelope with prints of the cover and some of the illustrations. So this was one of the prints that was released as an extra, as well as like this one was a print as well. And so I asked the publisher and they confirmed that the Volume 2 release as well, if you order from the publisher, is going to come with a pack of prints as well. So definitely recommend that, especially because when I got this in the mail, it was packed so securely and just arrived in pristine condition. So I did upload a short when I got this in the mail of my unboxing, as well as the prints that came with it. Some of the prints were spicy, so I do have them kind of cropped off in the short, and that's why I'm not sharing them in this haul video. You can go and watch my short, but just a really nice release. It came in great condition from the publisher. The book is so gorgeous. But like I said, there are some spicy scenes in this series. It's a mature rated novel, and I loved it. I loved this book so much. I can't wait for Volume 2 because it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. I tabbed all the spicy scenes, but I only knew the premise, basically what is here on the back cover. So it's an Omegaverse series following an Omega who has been on the run from something that you don't find out about until later in the story. And then an Alpha who is pursuing him romantically, the Alpha being an arms dealer who has ties to the Italian mafia, blood ties, so it's his family in the Italian mafia. And meanwhile, this Omega is working in a flower shop and has a mysterious past. So I really liked their dynamic. I really liked the way that they interacted with each other. The Alpha reminded me of my two favorite Black Flag characters, Caesar from Roses and Champagne and Zhenya from Codename Anastasia. I really liked him, and he was not as much of a Black Flag as them, though he does have his own problematic things about him. But I'm happy to report that, in contrast to those two other series, everything in this book is consensual, so that is a great start. And then this Omega character is just really lovable, but not weak at all. Even though he's an Omega, he's very strong and very determined, and as I read, I just liked him more and more as I got to know his character and his background and his motives and everything. So highly, highly recommend this series if that type of kind of crime action interests you. While this is an Omegaverse, it does have the typical tropes in Omegaverse series, but it's not really like in your face and not the like cliche things that happen in series with a lot of assault and non-consensual interactions. So definitely would recommend this one and can't wait for volume 2. Okay, on the final stretch, I have a ton of merch now to share. I think it's been a few weeks now, but a few weeks ago, I got my first order from Delivered Korea. It was my first time using that proxy service because the Korean proxy that I usually use has been on hiatus, and I had some things I needed to buy, so I was really nervous to use Delivered Korea, and I did actually check in with a few different friends who were more comfortable using Delivered Korea. I asked a lot of questions, and it ended up being pretty straightforward, not too difficult to navigate. For the secondhand items, I picked them up from Bunjang and then had them sent to Delivered Korea, who then sent them to me after consolidating. One of the items was from the Do7 store, so I was just able to order again from there through the Delivered Korea portal. And I was really impressed with the packaging. They packed everything really securely, so everything got to me really safely, and I was really happy about that. Because it's the most frustrating thing ever when I pay a lot for merch and then I pay a lot for international shipping and then it arrives damaged. So I was really happy that everything came just fine. So first, I got this little acrylic charm of Daehyung and YiYoung from On or Off. I actually am not sure if this little art is from On or Off or if it's from the sequel series Work Love Balance, but it's from the Mofun collab from last year. I bought a bunch of stuff from that collab, but I didn't get this little charm, and then I regretted it. So I was really glad I was able to find a secondhand listing of this cute little chibi charm, and it's going to go on my shelf with my volumes, but they're so cute. Really glad I was able to get a hold of these. I also got a couple paper goods from the Ghost Nocturne. So I got this print and calendar page from the Lezhin Season's Greetings calendar. And I'm not planning to collect a lot of merch from this year's Season's Greetings because none of my favorite series are being featured. Like last year's, I was collecting the Ghost Nocturne, Legs That Won't Walk, Shutline, and a few others, but with this release, I'm only really collecting the Ghost Nocturne, I think. But with this calendar page, I had to have it because it had a little bonus comic. So happy to have these, and they'll go in my art binder with the rest of my merch from the Ghost Nocturne. I also got this work of art. So this is TJ from Wet Sand. And I had seen, can you feel the heat? I had seen this art from the creator's Twitter. They had posted it on their Twitter. I think it was a birthday art, and I loved it. Firefighter TJ, here to rescue all of us. But they had done artwork too for Ian and Joe. So I believe Joe, his design was a police officer, and then Ian's was some type of army or military design. But I just thought that was pretty creative. But then I love that TJ was a firefighter. And when I saw that these were being released as little acrylic stands and merch items like this, I was really wanting to get my hands on TJ's. So really happy to have this on my shelf now. He's so handsome. He's my favorite character in Wet Sand. Actually, I really like Ian too. They're obviously my ship, but ultimately, regardless of whoever is endgame, I just want Ian to be happy at the end, and I want TJ to be happy at the end, so we'll see. I've been following the digital release, and Wet Sand has gotten a print release in English, but I'm waiting to pick it up until the story gets a little further along in case there are any developments that just really turn me off to the series, but for now I just have been enjoying it. And then one of the big reasons why I started my Proxy order at Delivered Korea was because of these goods that I picked up from the series Bxtch Baby. So this is a favorite series of mine. I'm so excited. It is getting a print release that is going to start releasing later this year. An English print release. It's been releasing digitally. I forget Tapas or Tappytoon, I don't remember, but I got a couple different little bundles of items. So first I got this, what is it called? Mr. Blue is, I think, the Korean publisher, but I got this Season's Greetings packet from Mr. Blue, and this was a secondhand listing, but I got this calendar page, the 2 matching photo cards, and then the print of the art illustration, and I love it. Like, this series has a lot of crime elements with the main character being an heir to a big company, and they do a lot of dirty work to get things done. And then this sweet guy who is very poor and in debt and becomes a kept man to him in order to pay off his debts. But as cliche as that might sound, it is not the typical setup, as he is a top and he is a power bottom. So usually it's the other way around, but the dynamic is really fun as he is just perpetually cranky. There are definitely toxic elements to the relationship, but I love it. I love their character growth too, their relationship development, as well as all the drama outside of their relationship that kind of impacts them as the story goes. I love this art though because it has them with tattoos. But wanted to get that, as well as the trading card release from the creator. They had released 6 trading cards for Bxtch Baby, and then 6 from their other series. I think in English it's called Legroom. But I really wanted this trading card. I would have been okay to just get this one, but every listing I saw in the US from like US Mercari, it was like $60 for one, or a pack of them for like $80 or more. So I just went ahead and got it myself. So these 6 cards with little snippets from the series, they're so handsome. I'm so excited for the print release. But then in addition to the Mr. Blue Season's Greetings and the photo cards, I also got a bundle that had items with art from the side stories. So that includes all of these stickers. I love the side stories. They're all AU stories. One is like a priest exorcist and Fox Spirit. One is Guide Verse. One is Omegaverse. It was just really fun to kind of change the setting and be able to explore a different kind of world with the same characters. And then also with the side story pack came this little clear file. This scene is so funny in the last side story. And then also this lenticular print that has, I think, 3, 4? 1, 2, 4 different arts on this. I don't know. By the time I get to the 4th one, I can't remember if I've seen it already. But really happy to have these ones, as again, Bxtch Baby is a favorite series of mine. So excited for the print release. And then the last series that I got merch from Delivered Korea was the Dangerous Convenience Store, and I actually made a YouTube short that went through and I showed all of the prints, all of the PCs that I got, because the Dangerous Convenience Store had a cafe collab with Fantazit. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but they had a collab event that was called Dangerous Convenience Store Wedding that had a lot of new art. I really didn't want to miss out on it. I'm so grateful to my Proxy who was able to go and get the merch items for me, as they didn't confirm that they'd have online sales. I was worried that if they did, that things would sell out, but they were able to get all the things that I requested. And in that YouTube short, I shared all of the prints and stuff, because after I got it in, I really wanted to get everything organized and sorted in my binder. So I just wanted to film that so I could share it and then get everything stored so that I could have it protected and just be able to enjoy it in my binder. Definitely, though, the highlight of the Dangerous Convenience Store goods was this wedding album. I wasn't sure like how nice of a book this would be, like if it would be kind of like gimmicky and just like kind of like just a merch item rather than like a nice book, but I was wrong. It's such a nice book. And in my short, I did a full flip through of it, but just like, it's stunning. And I think it's a lay flat binding. So like flipping through it, like the paper quality is super nice, really thick. But just gorgeous illustrations. Really happy to have these collected here. I did already get some of this art in print already with the Tumblebug release of the creator's side story. I had supported that crowdfunding project last year and got the book that had the side story in Korean. And then it had a lot of these illustrations too, but this one has extra illustrations that aren't in that book. So really happy to have it. And again, just the quality is so nice. But yeah, so if you want to see the other bits of art from this collab event, I will have linked my YouTube short where I shared all of that. So that's everything from the Delivered Korea Proxy order. And just one more book before I wrap things up, and it's this old library copybook that I got recently that I bought secondhand. I've been watching for a listing because all of the listings were really expensive, and I finally found one that I was willing to pay the price, and I'm so happy with it. So it is Fukuzawa Yukichi on Japanese Women. So this is a collection of Fukuzawa's essays about women's rights. And this was actually the first of Fukuzawa's works that I read when I started my Bungo Stray Dogs kind of lit journey of reading the real writing of the men and women behind the Bungo Stray Dogs characters. So Fukuzawa is my favorite character in Bungo Stray Dogs, and I read this first of his works because this is one that my library had available. So I checked out this book, and over the course of a few months, read the entire thing, the entire collection. There are some library stamps in here because this is, I forget where I got this from, but I got it from overseas. the international shipping was not too bad. Oh, contents. But it has this collection here. And I've already read the whole thing, but I definitely will go back through and read the ones that I found the most impactful. I had shared in my stories on Instagram thoughts about different things about each one of the essays as I read them. So I'll probably go back through my stories and kind of like take a look at those notes and then go back through and enjoy having my own personal copy. But I think I was able to get a good deal on this one because it didn't come with the dust jacket. And then it had a bit of like residue. I'm gonna try to clean this. I'm not really sure how to get glue residue off of like a fabric cover. And I don't wanna ruin this book. So I'm gonna do some research to try to carefully do this. If anyone has any advice for me, I would appreciate it. But then also it had stamped markings in the book. So even though it's a library copy that was being resold, it's in really good condition. And then just, I feel like the stamps kind of give it character. Like the book's in good condition, and then there are stamps from the Erasmus Universiteit, Rotterdam. So really happy to have this in my collection. It's my third of Fukuzawa's books now. I also have his autobiography and then his collection of essays on civilization, I believe. And then I have one more of his books on the way that I'll probably share in my next video if I get it in time. It's been in transit for a while, so really excited to have this now. I'm so happy that I was able to find this copy, and it is really special. But I definitely recommend, if you're a fan of the series Bungo Stray Dogs, look into the works of the person behind your favorite character. Like if your favorite character is Dazai, go and read one of Dazai's works. Or if your favorite character is Akutagawa, go read one of his works. Because it's really fun and exciting to learn about the real men and women, just details about them as people, and then to read their works and see their tone, what they write about, and how all of those things are kind of taken and formed into their fictional character in Bungo Stray Dogs. It will just make it even more exciting when you're loving your fictional character to see more about like their history and what they're based on. So happy to have this one. So that's everything for this haul. My unedited recording is kind of long right now, so I hope that this video won't be too long. But thank you so much if you watched to this point. Thank you for sticking around. I'm so excited about everything that I've gotten in the mail recently, and I'm feeling a little overwhelmed because I forced myself to do this haul video today because I have 3 packages coming in the mail today, another package from Yuki Bean, 2 packages from Japan from Mandarake and Nyokyo. And I was just like, my video is going to be like 3 hours if I just put everything together. So I wanted to quickly well, I say quickly, but it's been over an hour. I wanted to quickly go through all of my stuff that I have gotten over the past 2-3 weeks before I have more stuff coming in later this afternoon. But I hope you enjoyed watching a kind of a big mix of things: Japanese manga and Japanese merch, a Korean novel and Korean merch, and then a bunch of Chinese Danmei. So happy with everything. And I hope if there's something that I talked about that you haven't read yet or that you might be interested in, that you'll be able to check it out and enjoy it as much as I did. But that's everything this time around. Until my next video, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon in another video.